Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. What's good? So today's video is going to be mad depressing and also uplifting, but anyways, it's just basically what I'm going to do is talk about how Uganda's health system almost offed me. Like, guys, I almost exited stage left. I was out of here. I was like, anyway, yeah. When you use humor to cope with trauma. Sounds. So you guys, how you been doing? And I promised to record a video, like, I don't know how long ago this was, like a year. What was I going to say? Like a month ago. I was vlogging. I have so much random footage that I can't even put together because it's just so random. Like, why are you like that? My house has always been noisy, so I'm trying to speak higher than the surrounding sounds. There's welders over there who normally don't even have work, but for some reason today they have a job. Then there's also welders on the other side. Let me just show you. So what am I looking at? Over that the fence that side, there's, well, wait for the truck. So over that side of the fence there's welders. I don't know why they decided to, and we literally live in the middle of the road. So, and then on that, I don't know if you can see, over that side of the fence there's also welders. I think you can even see their gates that they're making. So it's really noisy out here in the streets, but there we go. My dad did choose to live here, so it is what it is. Wow, friend. Now, really, now. I don't even know if you guys can hear me, to be honest, but I'm going to just keep talking loud. Hopefully I'm drowning out the sound of that guy. I don't know what he's even doing, but yeah, hopefully I'm loud enough. I'll try to work on getting like a microphone or something so that my sound is better. But for now, one vibes. Vibes. I was having a French lesson before, but I got distracted, so I decided, let me just I'm learning some words. I'm self-teaching. I'm teaching myself French. So off an app, it's called Busu. Yeah, it has some free lessons, but when you're doing grammar, you have to pay, like, for the premium. I plan not to edit this video at all whatsoever, so I'm going to talk straight throughout and post it the way it is, because I didn't pay for my editing app. I'm broke, okay? Broke with a QUE. Broke. Special. Like, I don't even have $5. Yo, someone send me $5. Yes, my hair is giving everything that it has to. Like, it's so healthy. Are you jealous? Who they? Did you guys see who that was? I didn't see who that was. Anyway, guys, I have to be. It's raining over here. I don't know, but it's summertime. Why is? I want this closer. How am I going to do that? There's a whole lot of money in this. Not me discovering a wide-toothed comb. Who lives in this car? Whose DNA is this? This is so much better for my hair. Like, who left this in my car? It's not my car, it's my dad's. Who left this in the car though? Thanks. Thank you. Thank you, love. This is so useful. I'm guessing some of you didn't know that I was a four-eyed individual. We're blind over here. Like literally everyone, okay, not everyone, but like only my one brother, one of the siblings doesn't wear spectacles. Four of us do. Blind. My dad does, my mom does. It's just we can't see. And though this is supposed to have that thing that protects me from blue light, ignore that. Okay, let's be adults. I've just wasted 6 minutes talking about nonsense, guys. And my nails so cute, like, and my fingers so cute. This is my best feature. Like, this is my hands are my best feature in my body. Like, they're so pretty and so clean. Guys, clean your nails. Okay, that's how you get COVID, man. Okay, I got COVID even if I was clean how. So okay, I'm wasting time talking about nonsense. Let's talk about the real deal. Oh wait, look at my pretty bracelet. This watch is so big. Look at my pretty bracelet from my friend. Like, cool, isn't it so pretty? It's so cute. Anyway, as I was saying, let's talk about my COVID journey. Bro, what's the tea, fam? Anyway, let me move this phone closer because I just be having random things in the car, okay? Yes. I don't know what they are either. Now just money. Even me, I don't know. So guys, the cure to COVID, fam. It's in Uganda. This thing actually works. COVID-X. It helped me so much in the hospital, I think, because I was supposed to be admitted for more than But look at how my skin looks without a filter. This is live, no filter, because you can see my scar that I got from a bonnet. Guys, a bonnet burnt me. The elastic of a bonnet burnt me here. I was looking for. There's a whole lot of money in this month. What is this? Basically, the car is useless. This is an old clock from the car. I think it got spoiled. Let me try to put it behind and hold the phone closer, like here. Can you do it without backing? I guess it can't, so let's just use that. Hopefully my sound is Okay, like I hope my sound is translating well over there. I'll try to edit. I can't edit, guys. I don't have money. But let me shout. Okay, for real, I think I've avoided the topic long enough. Let's talk about COVID. It's so funny how people think it's political propaganda. How, Sway? No, how? How is a disease that is killing people political propaganda? Unless you're saying that our governments, our world leaders had a meeting, right? Where they decided that, oh, you know, the population is too high, let's kill people off. How does that translate? Like, how do you actually? Oh, my sister got some new shit. I want to see. Anyway, so how do you think that will actually work? Like, or some person sat down somewhere and decided, oh, you know what, let me kill motherfuckers, let me kill people off. Let's be real. Like, please. And if you're going to be dumb, at least, you know, I don't know, pick another kind. Pick another kind of dumb. Like, pick something else to be dumb about. It's just really political propaganda. Oh, wear a mask. You're taking away my rights, bitch. Wear the fucking mask. People actually dying from this stuff. Like, it's major. I almost did. So, literally, I'm a living testimony. God is real, fam. At first I had doubts. Not doubts, but like at first I was like 50-50, you know. But now, yeah, those guys are onto something, because I don't think I'd be here. So this is what happened on May 18th. Not May 18th, it was later, I think, because May 18th was a Wednesday. Tuesday? My birthday, May 18th. I went on the weekend of that week of 18th May to Ginger for my birthday, because, you know, birthday trip, like, why not? I was turning 25. Duh. So I went to Ginger for a trip. I cannot even say where I could have got this COVID from, to be honest. I don't socialize, right? I did not socialize in Ginger. I went to a restaurant. I went to restaurants because I was there for the weekend. I had my breakfast delivered to my room. I went to like one place where I had a glass of wine. I don't think that I could. Anyway, guys, I don't know where I got it from. That's just that, because I was probably the most neurotic kind of person. I would stay in the car, my mask was on, or if my mask was not on, my glass was raised, because we have hawkers that like to come close to the car because they don't understand the concept of personal space. And street kids, like when I give them money, I don't like to touch them because I don't know where they've been, and germs are just... I'm not even being discriminative, fam, but I just don't know where your hands have been. And if you're taking that against me, I don't give a shit. But them street kids be having some nasty ass hands. Even like actual beggars, like people who are clearly have like an illness, or they're in a wheelchair or something and they need money. When I give them money, I hate the fact that they touch me. Okay? I just hate it. So I have sanitizer all the time in the car, in my bag. Where did I get this COVID? When I go into a place, I don't even go to many places. I have places that I frequent because I'm a creature of habit. Okay, I just don't like new places because they disappoint. Okay, when you try a new restaurant, it will disappoint you. It's very rare that it won't. How did I get to restaurants? Anyway, so when I go to the places that I go to, I wash my hands with soap immediately I enter. I make sure to do that. So I don't know where I could have got this COVID from. When I come home, the first thing I do is wash my hands. I avoid touching my face. People, I don't know how I got COVID. I'm not even going to front. Anyway, so I got this in May when I came back from vacation, from my short trip. I went to my sister's instead of coming straight home. So I was in Nalia, and for some reason I just felt the first symptoms that I got were fatigue and body weakness. At first I thought that I had low blood sugar because I hate sugar. I'm going to just say this out loud. I don't eat chocolate or candy or pastries. I hate pastries. I don't eat cake, biscuits. That's just cookies. Everything that is sweet, I don't eat or drink. I don't drink soda. I'm incapable of finishing a bottle of soda. I only drink soda when I'm using it as a mixer. I don't drink juice. I hate juice. I hate passion fruit. Let's just say I'm not a sugar person. I hate sugar. So my blood sugar is, I think, always low. So when I get hungry, I shake. But I also rarely get hungry because I have ulcers. So instead of feeling hungry, I feel nausea, which in turn makes me not eat because I'm nauseated. You know what? It's just a vicious cycle of terribleness. So I thought it was hunger when I was feeling body weakness, and when I was feeling sick. So I thought it was hunger. So I tried to drink yogurt. Didn't work out. I still felt like I was going to pass out. So I literally failed to go home because I used an Uber. So thank God I used an Uber, because where was I going to get the energy to drive? So I failed to make it home for like 3 days. I stayed at my sister's and I could barely stay awake. I was really sleeping like so much. I didn't know, I couldn't explain it, but somehow I started feeling better. So I managed to come home. I just got in an Uber and I came home, but I was feeling sick still. Actually, before I came home, I went to LifeLink Tinder. If you're Ugandan, you know it. So LifeLink Tinder, I went there and I did a full CBC. I did a malaria test and I checked for bacteria. So that was typhoid, bacterial infections, food poisoning, all of that. I checked for all those, and I even went ahead and checked for HIV/AIDS because I'm paranoid. Like, I don't even know where I would have got it from, but I'm so paranoid because you can get it from anything. Like, someone could, like, you could get a cat, an infected person's blood or body liquid could, it's just too easy to get that I check every 3 months. Everyone should be checking every 3 months, to be honest, because it's not just a sexually transmitted disease. You could get it literally anyhow. So be careful, check. So anyway, my paranoia, I checked, so I'm like, what if I got AIDS? There's no way. I'm so dumb. There's no way. Anyway, moving on. So I check for all those and they all come out negative. But the lady just gives me like a prescription for the symptoms that I had told her that I had. So yeah, I got the medication. I think that's even how I actually felt better enough to go home. So yeah, I go home, but I still feel sick. So what happens? I just ignore my symptoms because I went to the hospital and checked. So if I'm not sick, then what's the issue? I decided that maybe my immunity was low and I was just feeling like I couldn't explain it. I rationalized it in my head, and then I decided, let me just stay home and I hope I'll be fine. Hopefully I'll be fine soon. It will go away. But I'm used to being in pain or being sick because I have never ever in my life woken up and I'm fine. I always wake up with nausea or a headache. I always have headaches all the time. I can have the same headache for a whole week. So I'm used to just being in pain, and I ignore my symptoms to the point of death. So whenever I get sick, that's why I'm always on IVs and drips and all that, because I just ignore my symptoms until I can't anymore. So I just ignored it, as I usually do. Damn bitch. As I usually do, and it just escalated. But to be honest, I think my body put up a fight, because that was May. I'm sick. I got treatment at the end of June. So I'm going to say that my body is very strong, because the Delta virus, that's what I had. I had the Delta variant of COVID-19. The Delta variant will kill you like that. So I think I actually got COVID, recovered, and then got COVID again. That's what I'm rationalizing it as, because the way that people describe this Delta virus, it seems like the kind of virus that will a few days. So anyway, moving on swiftly. So I managed to get home, but I'm just ignoring symptoms. But until there's this time, my dad had gone to France actually, and you know, when someone travels, they just leave enough money for the amount of time that they've traveled for. So for food and necessities, so your sickness is not accounted for, ma'am. And since you know when you have money but you're just not spending it on yourself, because there's no way. I'm such a miser. Like, I just don't spend money on myself. It just sits in the account. At least this I would rather die than spend my own money, because I'm such a miser. But anyway, so I text my dad. He's in France, somewhere in Paris. So I text him and I tell him that I'm still feeling sick, even from the other time. And I'm like, I think it's COVID, to be honest. Yeah, so he tells me that he had actually left his ATM card so in his safe. So he tells me to get that. So I get that and I get some money. I got enough money to do a PCR test. He told me to get enough money to do a PCR test and to also do other tests in case the test turns out negative. It could be another illness. So I go to Case Clinic. By the way, I want my money back. I'm coming back for my money from these hospitals, because y'all weren't doing shit. So I went to Case Clinic. I did a PCR COVID test. First of all, that thing hurts, right? My tears were falling on my eyes. I'm so mad. I'm mad at the health system of Uganda. You people need to work on your shit. Like, organize yourselves. So I do the test, turns out negative, as I thought it would. So then I go to, actually no wait, I thought it was going to be positive. I literally thought it was going to be positive, because I knew that I was not feeling typhoid. I was not feeling a bacterial infection, because I know how I feel. I get bacterial infections way too much because I have a weak stomach. If there's any impurity in food, I'll tell ya. My stomach will tell you. So I get bacterial infections way too much, and food poisoning, and I don't think it's typhoid, because typhoid is a killer disease. I think it's just like an elevated amount of bacteria in my stomach that just translates it, like it appears to be typhoid. But the way that typhoid is described on Google, I don't think that this is typhoid that they're saying over here. So anyway, I know how I feel when I have those illnesses, because I get them a lot. Even malaria makes you feel so bad. So there is literally no way it was those diseases, because I know I'm familiar with them. So I'm like, this must be COVID. Test is negative. So I go to Nakasero. I now go to Nakasero Hospital, because that's where we usually go at home. I see a general doctor. Well, because I don't know who I'm supposed to see, so I see a general doctor and I request, obviously, to do all these tests, and he tells me to do a COVID test again, but this time antigen, because I'm not paying 250,000 Uganda shillings to do another COVID test. Yet the other one, the bigger one, turned out negative at case literally 2 days ago. So I went to case on Saturday, and then I went to Nakasero Hospital on Monday. What would have changed? So, but anyway, I still did that. I paid the 80,000 for the antigen test. I did a complete blood count. They tested for malaria again. They tested for typhoid. They tested for bacteria. Basically, the same test that I did from anyway. Let me look. So they did this test. I kid you not, guys. This doctor looked at my face. He told me this to my face. He told me, you know, people have been coming here. People have been coming here. They test negative for COVID when we do PCR and antigen tests. But when they test positive for typhoid or malaria, it's most probably COVID. So he said that to me. Right, let's first put that aside. I go and run the test at the lab. I come out with typhoid, apparently, with typhoid positive. But my COVID test, guess what it was? Negative. So we'll just have faulty tests, or these tests only they aside shaking. I need to eat, but let me finish this fast. Yo, I can feel my whole body. I'm shaking the car. I'm not editing this video. I'm going to post it live from my phone to YouTube. So any mistake that I make, any sound issues, guys, it is what it is, okay? I'm not editing this video. Jesus Christ, I'm shaking the whole car. Anyway, where was I? I was now at the point of now we are at we're in Nakasero Hospital, and this guy has told me to my face that usually when people test positive for typhoid, that is usually COVID. So and yet where is my memory failing me? And yet they test yes, I tested negative for COVID. So anyway, I test positive for typhoid, which indicates that I most probably have COVID, right? Tell me why this individual did not give me medicine for COVID after telling me himself. This guy just gives me cefixime 400 milligrams tablets for 14 days. And then like painkillers. So he was treating me for typhoid. He was not treating me for he's treating me for bacteria, because guys, I'm tweaking. Yeah, girl is tweaking. My brain is refusing to work. But I'm not editing this video. I refuse to pay $5 to Viva Video to edit videos. My mind will work by force. So anyway, okay, because this is getting too long. It's now 29 minutes. But guys, if you love me, just watch the video, because it's going to help you out. Okay. So this guy didn't he gives me this medicine to treat typhoid. So I go home, I start treating the typhoid. When I went to this hospital, my first symptoms were I had a headache. Oh my god, that headache, guys. The pain I was in. Oh my goodness. Do you know, have you ever had a headache where you can't look to your left? Like, it hurts. It was so painful, like I couldn't move my eyes. If I was going to look to somewhere, I had to turn my whole head, and that also had god, that headache was so painful. That was my most terrible symptom. And then I had nausea as usual. That's my bestie in a tessie. And my legs were pain. My legs were in so much. I was just a body bag of pain. I was in pain. I needed heavy painkillers, and this guy gave me some nonsense of 500 milligrams. I think even when they're taking Panadol, they take it. You take 1,000 milligrams. So why you get? Let me not complain. So now I'm doing typhoid medication. So on Friday, these are 5 days after. I got treatment on Monday. I got medication on Monday. Then 5 days after, let's just say it's 4 days. On Thursday, I started vomiting. On Thursday I started vomiting, but at this point I hadn't noticed that my taste had disappeared. I don't know why I didn't notice. Also, my ability to smell had disappeared. Like, I was just smelling nothing. I was tasting. I couldn't taste, but then also I didn't have an appetite. So it's not like I was eating anything of note. So I was, what is note now? Of note. I'm not going to give up. I'm going to power through this video. So now, where am I? Yeah, I didn't have an appetite. I couldn't smell. I couldn't taste, and I could hear. I could hear that I had cough in my chest. I couldn't cough it out, but I could hear it in my chest, like it was bubbling up. This is how it sounds. Like a monster. That's how my chest was sounding. Like, you know how bad it is. You know how bad it has to be for you to be able to hear. Like, I could hear it when I was lying down. But this is I was actually now sleeping while sitting. Like, I put so many pillows, and that was the position that I could manage to sit in. So now I'm really badly off. I started vomiting. I wasn't vomiting before, but I was only eating mangoes because that's all I could taste, and that's the only thing that I could eat because I didn't have an appetite. So I was just and fruits leave your digestive, they leave your stomach in like 30 minutes. So that's literally like you've not eaten. So I was just throwing up stomach acid. It was not fun. It was not a fun experience, I'm going to say that. So now I'm throwing up. So on Friday I wake up I felt so bad. So I wake up, I tell my dad had a board meeting that day though, so he couldn't take me, so I'd tell my brother to take me. This was 6 a.m. Meanwhile, I'm feeling terrible. I'm telling people to take me to the hospital at 6 a.m. So my brother takes me to the hospital. Nakasara Hospital, the same hospital that I had come to. So this time I say, let me pay for a physician. That's more expensive. That's 60,000 consultation. So I pay for a physician. They even bougie. They sit on the 3rd floor of the hospital. You get there by elevator. Blah 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 blah. Whatever. It's not that fancy. Nonsense. So I see a physician. I go to the before you enter like a doctor's office, you go to a triage triage. What is it? Something where the nurses like measure your pressure, your temperature, your like weight and all that. Now I get to this chick and she's measuring my temperature. First of all, was just being a bit. It was low, so I didn't have a fever, but I think I naturally have a low body temperature. But we shall talk about that later. So this chick measures my body temperature. It's not high. I don't have a fever. My pressure is not high. I've never had a high pressure. It's 110/70. I think it's even low. It's 110/70 all the time. And then she measures my heartbeat. Now my heartbeat was 130. Normal heartbeat ranges from 60 to 100. So 130. She's like, why is your heartbeat so high? I don't really know. I would have the answer to that question. I mean, really, why would I know that? But apparently your heartbeat is high when your body is trying to fight infection. So I got that from a new doctor, whatever. So now she tells me that you look like you're really badly off, so I'm going to change. The doctor that you've paid for has a very long line, and I don't think you're in the condition. You don't look like you're in the condition to wait for a long line, so I'm going to give you a doctor that does not have a line. So they changed me on they changed the doctor. So I see a doctor. I go into the doctor's room immediately, and I meet this doctor, and he's trying to make me do more tests. I said no. He's like, oh, but you may have COVID. Then treat me for COVID, boss. I don't care. If you think I have COVID, treat me for COVID. Give me the medication for COVID, because I'm not doing another test that's going to turn out negative. Like, make it make sense. What kind of people are we living with here? And then I'm like, I'm not going to change. I'm feeling worse than I felt before, so please change my medication. I'm not going to take tablets for 14 days. Change my medication to IV, because I want this done in 3 days. I want to feel better in 3 days. Not my dad and my niece. I may have to edit this video, guys. It's too long. So okay, where am I? Now I'm in the doctor's office. I said change my medication to IV for typhoid, and then give me the COVID medication. I'm not doing any more tests. So now they switch me to IV. I'm on IV medication for typhoid. I go down, I get the drip, I go home. I'm doing this for 3 days. I improve. But now, after those 3 days are done, I go home. My breathing, fam. I couldn't breathe. So my sister calls my parents and she tells them, why don't you bring that girl here? Since she has COVID, you people are so many at home. We are risking infection. Because my grandma is also at home. My parents are both above 50 years old, so it makes sense. So they took me to my sister's so she could take care of me. But then at the same time, lockdown began. Our second lockdown, because COVID deaths spiked over here. So now I moved to my sister's and I have breathing problems. Oh, meanwhile, at the doctor's office, I told him that I had cough, but doctors walk around with stethoscopes all the time, but he didn't find it in his heart to listen to my chest. Like, you have a stethoscope, every doctor does. Why wouldn't you just listen to my chest? You could have. Moving on swiftly. Now we are at the point where I've gotten typhoid, and I'm now at my sister's house. I moved to my sister's house on a Sunday. Yeah. Actually, I was still going to the hospital at this point. My brother took me there, and guys, my sister lives on the first floor. When I climbed those stairs, I first sat on the couch and dry coughed for 5 minutes while breathing heavy. Oh, my brother thought I was dying. I probably was. Oh, it took me 5 minutes to calm my lungs down, guys, from one flight of stairs. I don't know why I'm so dumb. Like, death had not crossed my mind at this point. Like, I really thought I was not that badly off. I was just there on vibes the whole time. So I moved to my sister's, but weirdly enough, peeing was such a hard sport. Like, I would go pee and I would have like, I would breathe, I was hyperventilating while I was trying to pee. My renal function had failed completely. Like, I hadn't pooped in like a week or two. I'm just dumb, because all these symptoms should have told me that something was wrong, but I'm used to being in pain, so I was just dismissing things. At this point I was like, oh, because as long as I have typhoid medication, it's all good, it's fine, it's calm. But so Sunday, I stay there. I was sleeping in an upright position the whole time, because otherwise I felt like I was suffocating. So Tuesday night was the night that I thought that I was actually going to I thought I was going to leave this earth, because I couldn't breathe at all whatsoever. My sister's 2 balconies, so they were open, wide open. Literally, I should be able to breathe, but I could not. I asked her, but is there air in this house? I can't breathe. Cannot. What's going on? I'm suffocating. And then she just made for me like a thingy so that I could steam. If I hadn't steamed, I honestly think if I hadn't steamed that night, I was going to pass away. I'm not even kidding. But so the next day I was talking to some friend of mine called David, and I told him how I had cough, like I could hear the cough in my chest, but then I was also suffering from COVID. And he told me, guys, my lips have gone numb. And he told me that anyway, he told me that I should get a scan done immediately. Like, I should not even waste time. But me with my dumb, oh, my tongue is going numb. But me with mine being dumb, I was there telling him, yeah, I have an appointment on Saturday. Like, I'm going to the doctor on Saturday. He was like, don't even be a dumb bitch. Get the fuck up. Go and get a scan done, a chest scan done. So I told my sister, and we call my dad, and we go to the hospital immediately. Like, I acted upon it immediately. When I went to I went back to Nakasera Hospital. Guys, these guys are so incompetent. I can't believe it. Again, we paid for a physician, so I went upstairs to the 3rd floor. I entered the trash where the nurses at, and she was like, what the hell is this? My heartbeat was through the roof. I was just badly, like, I just looked bad. I looked like I was there. Do you know they have this book where they write someone's vitals? She wrote my vitals on the receipt. That's how she was panicking. She kept looking at me. She was like, shit. I couldn't breathe. She told me, just take off your mask. I was there trying to be with a mask so that I don't spread COVID to people. She just told me, take off your mask. And it was so bad that she told me, okay, we can't treat you from here. I'll take you to emergency. So at this point now I have a panic attack because I have anxiety. So I have a panic attack. I already can't breathe. Then I just add on this nonsense. So I start, you know, how asthma patients sound when they're breathing. That's how I say breathing. So they keep asking me, do you have asthma? Do you have asthma? I'm like, no, I do not have asthma. I'm just having a panic attack. I even cried. Like, then they put me in a wheelchair and they take me down to emergency. yeah, when they took me down to emergency, then these guys are so money minded. Like, they can't do anything for you until you pay. Sorry, you die. We're not doing it until you pay money. Nakasero Hospital, do better, please. People are dying in your hospital because of that nonsense that you're doing, because you're money minded. So my sister is here, like, trying to handle the situation. We don't have money. We have to call my dad so that he does the transaction. So it was just so much, and they can't do shit for you until you pay. So now I'm sitting there in emergency. I'm not doing a scan because they hiked their prices for scans. This is a pandemic. People are not working. Like, what kind of people are those? Let me not even quarrel. Let me complain. So my dad is doing the transaction. Finally, my sister pays for the scan, and then they take me to do the scan. Guys, tell me why 70% of my lungs were covered in mucus. I was literally surviving on vibes. I was breathing on vibes, because that's not a humanly, like, it's so bad. It's so bad. So I enter the scan, and then when they put me out, everyone is just looking at me like, shit. I don't think we should tell her that it's that bad. So no one tells me what's going on. But they take me, so I'm trying to walk, but I'm dizzy at the same time. I sound like I'm having an asthma attack, because I was panicking. With the way they looked at me, I was like, what's going on? I was now scared. So they put me back in a wheelchair, and they take me to emergency. And people now, all the nurses, at first, they were just double masked at first. But now they start wearing more protective gear. They triple mask now. They wear them like full PPE. Now they wear full PPE. They wear even that polythene apron. The polythene apron, the goggles, the hair nets. Bro, they really, now I was just having full on panic attack. I was crying. And then they put me on oxygen immediately, because they were like, then they see the scan. The doctor who had paid for sees the scan, and he's like, shit. But in all this, they didn't fail to mention that I was fat, that I was overweight, I was obese. So they were blaming it on obesity, but I don't know how obesity translates to me having mucus in my lungs. You know, when doctors are biased and they can't think of something else other than blaming it on your weight. That's it. But you've measured my pressure. My pressure is low. You've measured my, guys, being fat in this country, or being overweight in this country, will give you you just can't survive. You're going to die. You're going to die, because the first thing they'll say is you're obese. So everything that is happening to you is because you're obese. I don't know how that makes sense. Where did these people get these medical degrees from? Where did you study from? How does me having mucus in my lungs how does me being overweight translate to me having mucus in my lungs? Does that make sense to you? But then so he's asking my sister, apparently, because they went away because they couldn't say it in front of me. I was here on oxygen and surviving, literally on vibes. So the people are injecting me, and my blood is just flowing out. For some reason, I have so much blood now, so my blood is flowing. I was mishandled. I'm going to say I was mishandled at this hospital. So then apparently what the doctor said to my sister from back there is, what are you going to do about your sister? The lungs are so bad, and on top of that, she's overweight. I'm like, oh, okay, I have a mirror, I can see it. But then also, I don't think I'm that fat, to be honest. I've seen people who weigh 600 pounds. That's fat. I am just normal. I look normal. When I look at literally the population of the US, I think I'm normal. I'm normal looking, because I've seen people 600 obese. I'm not even going to front. They don't have the issues that I do. So what are we really treating here? Anyway, moving on, because this is going to be an hour-long video. I've just accepted it. I've decided to own it, because it is what it is. Now, so these doctors are tripping. This is their fault, because I've been to your hospital thrice in the same week, but none of you took it upon yourselves to use your freaking stethoscope that every doctor has to just listen to my chest. If you had done that, you would know that my lungs were literally failing. So they're trying to now, they have decided that I'm an ICU patient, and I have to be admitted, but they don't have beds, because their hospital is full of COVID patients in ICU. Thank God, because they would have killed me, obviously. So they refer me to Mulago, the national hospital, apparently the best hospital, which also has the highest number of deaths from COVID, from neglect, by the way. I'm calling you people out. From neglect. Those people are dying from neglect, not because they are suffering from COVID. They're dying from neglect and worry about hospital bills. That's what is killing them, not COVID. So now they're trying to refer me to Mulago, to an ICU. My dad is like, no, I'm not putting my daughter in isolation. Find somewhere else. Luckily, a friend of theirs calls and they tell us about a hospital on Uganda'S Road called Sanctuary Medical Center. Quickly, a friend of my mom's who works at Nakasero Hospital gets us an ambulance. In like 30 minutes I'm out of there. My sister, first of all, when we left my sister's home, that chick didn't have fuel. Her car was just blinking at us. She did not have gas in her car. Okay, so I think literally everything that was happening, we're just surviving on vibes. Everyone is on vibes. So we're now in an ambulance. Uganda'S Road is far from Nakasero. Okay, not really, if you use Boise and all that, but anyway, I'm in an ambulance right now. First of all, their bed does not sit up, so it's just like straight, and I had to sit. I couldn't lie down because I couldn't breathe when I'm lying down, so I had to sit up. I'm on their oxygen tank. I'm holding on for dear life, because these roads are bad. We have potholes, we have marm roads up to now in this generation. Nonsense. I'm sitting up, I'm holding on for dear life. I'm worried. The things that I was actually worried about are so funny. I was worried about I was like, man, this bed is going to jump out of this. I'm going to be a meme. That's what I was worried about. I was like, this bed is going to, there's no way this bed is stable. It's going to fall out of this ambulance, and I'm going to be that one patient that fell out of the ambulance, in jokes. Also, I was looking at my sister because she was following us, double indicator. I was like, this girl did not put gas in her car, and her car is going to fail because she didn't have gas, and then she's going to leave me alone to go to this. I don't know where I'm going. Those are the things that I was worried about. Meanwhile, nothing else. I was not worried about my health, because I didn't feel as terrible as I thought I was, as apparently I was. Because, like we said earlier, I'm a dumb bitch who's used to ignoring my symptoms. So somehow we make it to Sanctuary Hospital, but they had to measure my oxygen, my SpO2. It was 84. That's terrible. It was 84 while I was on oxygen. So imagine what it was without oxygen. I don't even want to know. So somehow they accepted me, because I was an HDU patient, and I don't know if they have an HDU. Anyway, it's a new medical center. The doctor is called Patrick. I don't know his other name, but it's called Dr. Patrick. It's called Sanctuary Medical Center on Uganda'S Road. So they admit me. We enter inside, and the guy's like, what the hell is this? When they look at the referral, my diagnosis was severe acute bronchopneumonia. That is a combination of bronchitis and pneumonia that is severe and acute. I don't know how I was alive. I was also still surviving on vibes. So now I'm on oxygen. This oxygen tank is taller than me. Full blast 15 liters. So they're just, but somehow I'm awake and I'm okay. And the guy is asking me about my allergies. I have so many allergies to medication. But anyway, yeah, so admitted me. They treated me in a matter of 7 days. The first 4 days were difficult. I was going through 4 tanks taller than me of oxygen at full blast 15 liters. The guy told, but I was told to lie on my stomach, and that's it, and to just breathe. That was my job. He told me, just lie on your stomach and don't take off your mask. That's it. But you're going to be okay. You're going to be fine. Don't worry. So the environment that I was in, they created an illusion of I was fine. So me, I was fine. I was not worried about this illness. But I was tripping. Oxygen is drugs. I was tripping. I was hallucinating. I was seeing people that were not there. I was forgetting. I thought it was December. Guys, my tongue is really numb. And my mouth. I thought it was December. I was not understanding what was going on for literally the whole time. And I also have sinuses, so they had to nebulize me while I was on oxygen. It was just a mess. He only gave me 20 minutes on prawns, like the prawns, to eat or something like that. I was peeing in a bucket, but thank God my renal did I just say failure? My renal function had failed, so I didn't have to poop. Because what was I going to do? Poop in a bucket? Poop in a plastic bag? My siblings were going to just be like, honey, this too much, bro. This too much. Like, you're doing too much. You need to stop. Stop it. Calm down. Anyway, so that was what was going on. I was treated for 7 days on the the improvement from the 4th day to the 5th day was so significant. But just know I was doing so. Whenever he'd come and like listen to my lungs with his stethoscope, he'll be like, how are you doing this? How are you doing this? Because he was so surprised. But I was really well cared for at that clinic. I was pumped with antibiotics, guys. Like 12 syringes, those big ones, of antibiotics into the cannula. I had like 3 drips a day plus all those 12 syringes. I'd get 4 syringes thrice a day. On top of that, there was this other COVID medication that they would put in an IV at night. What is it called? I think it's a treatment they're using. It costs around 600,000. I don't remember its name, but it's the antibiotic that they're using to treat COVID. So on top of that, I was having blood taken off and tested every day. My blood sugar was tested every day. I was injected with an anticoagulant so that I wouldn't have a blood clot, since I was not moving around. I was literally bedridden. It was a lot. People were scared. My mom told me that she got that feeling because I have a sister that died before any of us met her. She was the firstborn. She died when she was 1 of malaria, and she had that thing, like she felt like she was actually, my mom felt like my sister was going to lose her life before she did. So she told me that she got that same feeling when I was in hospital. But she was really, people prayed for me. I just want to thank my family and my friends for, first of all, creating the illusion that I was fine. I think that kind of helped me out, for creating the illusion that I was fine and I was going to make it. So that was just hope. So I want to thank my family for that, and for praying for me. Everyone prayed for me, my family and my friends. They really did the most. Like, they deserve $1 million. They deserve $1 million from me. I need, like, when I'm successful, my family is going to eat. Oh, I pray for good health for them so they can reap the benefits of my work. I really want to pay back my dad for everything that he's done for me, bro. The hospital bill, but at least it actually wasn't that bad. You'll go to Sanctuary, like if you need oxygen, go to Sanctuary Medical Center. An oxygen tank costs 300,000, as compared to these big hospitals that are ripping you off and making you pay 2 million shillings for oxygen, and then after that you die anyway. So these guys treated me so well, but the antibiotics that were pumped into my body, imagine 12 syringes a day of medication for 7 days. It was just, and then 3 bottles, 3 drips a day for 7 days. That's 21 drips. It was so much medication. But my dad's younger sister used to send me food every day, and my brother's girlfriend also used to cook. So it was so much effort from so many people. Even my sister and my younger sister and her boyfriend, like, they used to bring for me. I was addicted to vegetable samosas from Frying Supermarket, and they used to bring them for me. My elder sister also used to bring them for me. So my elder sister and my younger brother were changing shifts to look after me at the hospital. So if it was today, it's my elder sister, tomorrow it's my younger brother, like that. I always had someone there. And yeah, man, I beat COVID somehow. That was good, obviously. And just, so when the doctor was discharging me, when Dr. Patrick was discharging me, he said, now that my most difficult patient has recovered, I think I can close shop. That's the point at which I realized I could have actually died. The whole time I was just on vibes. I was actually just worried about other people. I was like, man, no, how is people going to survive if I kick? This is some ghetto shit. Like, I can't go right now. This is really not the time. In my head, I was like, this is just not the time. Like, pick another time. Not now. It was really the wrong time for me to even, like, be sick, because we had just gone through some terrible stuff as friends, me and my friends, and I was the strong one. I was the one that was not that affected, because basically, but then I was like I was their shoulder to cry on, and I was trying to be there for my friends, and now I was sick. I was like, what kind of nonsense is this? I can't do this shit to them. How are they going to cope? It was just so terrible. It was the worst time for me to be sick, but I beat it, man. I beat it. I made it out okay. But now let's go down to the after effects of COVID. This is why you should not get COVID, fam. Your immunity lowers so much from so much antibiotic use. After COVID, post-COVID, I have low blood sugar all the time. My body shakes. I have dizzy spells that make me black out sometimes. The other day I fainted somehow. I was in bed. I was watching I was on YouTube watching some videos. Then next thing I know, I'm waking up. I don't know when I slept. My phone has fallen under the bed. I couldn't even see it. I had to ask someone to call it. Literally, I fainted, and I woke up 3 hours later. No one knew. But I didn't die. But yeah, dizzy spells. Your body shakes uncontrollably, like right now. What's going on right now? Yeah, I got a bacteria infection, so now I'm on medication again. I had symptoms of headache, nausea, yeah, the dizziness, and yeah, I've forgotten. There's so many symptoms. I forget so much these days. Like I have short-term memory loss. That's also, I think, an after effect. My taste and smell are not back yet. Um, oh yeah, so when I went to the clinic the other day, I discovered I had a bacterial infection as well as a yeast infection. So these are all just after effects of COVID, because your immunity is so low, and too much use of antibiotics lowers your immunity. So that's what's going on. But I went to a pharmacy and I bought immunity boosters that are just natural. They are chewable, because I can't be on too much medication. My kidneys, I don't know, they will shut down probably from too much medication, so I can't be on IVs and all that. But I'm on an antibiotic to treat the bacterial infection, and painkillers, of course, for the headaches. Then I got a tube for the yeast infection. But yeah, so I'm trying to you know, boost my immunity with the immunity boosters that I got. And yeah, hopefully they work out. And the pharmacy guy actually told me that if I boil aloe vera leaves, they grow in our compound here. If I boil aloe vera leaves and drink for 5 days, that my taste and smell will come back. I don't know if I'm capable of drinking that stuff. I don't know, like, do I really need to smell? Is it a necessity? Is other people be smelling? Man, I don't want to smell that shit. So I'm okay with not smelling. The tasting, though, that's a problem, because like I like to taste food. I don't like to eat basic food, like, and if food doesn't taste nice, then I lose my appetite for it. So this whole hunger issue of low blood sugar is going to stress me out so much. Yesterday I had to eat a Snickers bar to have energy to go to the clinic. Anyways, guys, so that in a nutshell is COVID. Don't mind me, I've run out of energy now and I have to go and eat. So this is how hunger looks like post-COVID. You just get the general body weakness, and yeah, you fast shake though. You fast shake, then you get the general body weakness, then yeah, probably blackout later, you know. Next step is probably like a dizzy spell, then a blackout. But I'm going to go and eat before that. This video has actually been a whole hour. I'm trying to raise my volume so that you can hear me. It has been a whole hour, but I think it's worth it to explain to you what happened and how the health system in Uganda is actually killing people, and they should really improve their systems. Honestly, it's like, why don't you care about your fellow countrymen? Like, why wouldn't you care about them? I'm very sure that when doctors become doctors, they take an oath where they're supposed to treat people even when there's no money available, because you have the ability to do that. Like, Nakasero Hospital do better. That money-mindedness is just weird. That guy, the owner of Nakasero Hospital, his sister died from his hospital of COVID. Now see, honestly, their biggest issue, you know, the thing is actually, their Nakasero Hospital has a very nice care. The people are nice. The employees are nice. The problem is the diagnosis. They don't do that well. They should look into that, the diagnosis. Otherwise, when it comes to caring for their patients, they're good at that. But diagnosis, they should stop using biased doctors. When you use doctors that can't think outside the box, or don't have, or can't abandon their ego at the door to help, to ask their other fellow doctors to help them when they're doing the, to do research on diseases, because people's bodies are different. You can't think that because something is happening here, it's going to happen in the next patient. It's not. That bias, doctors are not supposed to be biased, and they're not supposed to have ego. So it's really not helping you, because I'm thinking that if you lose a patient, that is failure. You have failed to do your job when you lose a patient. So look into that. You lost a patient from an endoscopy. Come on. Like, doctors, please do better. How does someone die from an endoscopy? It's a routine procedure. Colonoscopy, sorry. It's just how. So the health system in Uganda is really failing. Like, you need to work on it. Please do better. Yeah. Thank you guys for watching. Let me go eat, because I don't know how I've become a numb now from hunger. I don't know. Maybe there's other symptoms, but yeah, thank you for watching. I know that this is so long, and the data to watch videos that are so long is expensive, but if you can, you need to share this with people that they need to know what's happening. Man, COVID is not a joke. It's not funny. It's not a joke. Socializing is not that important. You never know how COVID is going to affect you. You may be that one person that dies. You may be that one person whose lungs are too weak to survive COVID. Like, it's not, this disease does not have a manual. It's literally just anything can happen. Anything can happen. We don't know what it is. We don't know the side effects. We don't know the after effects. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know who it targets. Like, it's so random, because it's a new disease and we don't know what it is. So people, please stop playing with your lives. This is not a joke. It's an emergency. It's a global pandemic. You could die. You don't know this disease. You could die. So spread this video to people and just make them aware that COVID is not a joke. Don't play. Drinking alcohol can wait. It can wait. That wake and bake can wait. That session that you have with your friends can wait. It can wait, fam. It's not worth it. Socializing is not worth it. You don't have to see your friends or to see people for this. It's all far. Okay, mugenda kufind jokes, please. Mweddeko ate zo sente z'eddwaliro teziriiwo, ezo sente nyingi teziriiwo. Olaba ne oxygen tank emu $300,000 is a lot of money. I know that because I've seen the situation out here in these streets. Tuli mu mbeera embi, mwagala kuzanyira ku bulamu. Please, mwebereremu, mubere careful. COVID ejja kubatta ate nga sente teziriiwo ez'okugenda mu ddwaliro. Amalwaliro kati bali mu kuseera abantu. So it's just, don't mulekera kuzanyira ku bulamu bwammwe. It's just not even funny. Be careful with your lives. Yeah, thank you for watching. Comment, subscribe, share. Please share this video. I want people to know what's happening, what COVID really is in Uganda. Like, share it. I know it's long, but it's very important. So yeah, make sure you share this video. Thank you for watching. Comments, I already said that. I'm sorry, my memory is terrible. Bye, guys. Peace. Live long and prosper. Like, love yourselves. I'm sorry. Bye.